and I pay my portion. So they should have went after the ones that didn't pay the portion. And I have a known disability, and I have asked for accommodation that they restore the water immediately, and they haven't.
And so they haven't restored the water. They haven't reached out to you to say as far as the reasoning or.
No, I haven't got anything in writing, but I do know this: I haven't been able to flush my toilets, wash my hands, um, drink water, cook, for months. For months. And this is in Conyers, Georgia, Rockdale County. I went to the water company, Rockdale Water Resources, and I finally got a copy of the bill. And the bill in January last year was an arrearage of $38,000. The water was never disconnected by the water company. And I have went time after time to this board. These are three individuals who are on the Secretary of State have denied and and not been accommodating for myself having water in our home. And I'm not the only one. It's two of us. Several families, several people, but two of us have no essential water.
Okay. Now, have you tried to reach out to the regional office of Fair Housing since it is dealing with a residential area, or?
Fair Housing, I reached out before regarding a sewer backup, and they said they don't handle that. So I don't know what to do with it. But we need to, I'm asking for accommodation to have water, and this is not a suable offense because the water bill's never been terminated by the actual water company.
Okay. So it's not cut off by the water company, it's just cut off from the association.
It's cut off through a contractor that the association used to cut off my water.
Okay, gotcha. And what state are you located in?
I'm in Conyers, Georgia.
Gotcha.
The Rockdale County is the county, and Rockdale Water Resources is the water authority who provides water to the community. And when I first moved here in the early 2000s, the covenants and the declarations and the bylaws do not state that I have to pay a third party for water and then pay the Rockdale Water Resources for water. This is all included with my maintenance fee, which includes water, sewage, trash, and all that, $275 a month. And I'm not behind on it. And when their company came in and cut the water lines in the adjacent condos, it caused flooding. And it flooded my house for months, rendering my house like unlivable.
Okay. So since this is a residential area, I do want to provide you with that direct telephone number for the Atlanta Regional Office, as well as because this is something that's done through the association, and they're going to be in charge of that specific contracting service. I can provide you with the direct telephone number for them, as well as I also want to provide you with a telephone number for the Federal Trade Commission. Now, the Federal Trade Commission, they are going to be, that's where you have general consumer complaints that aren't going to be directly covered by the ADA. So that would be something that they may be able to assist with.
Okay, what's your name?
Latrice.
Patrice?
Latrice. Latrice.
Well, Latrice, I contacted this FTC and they haven't done anything. I've contacted this fair housing in Atlanta. May I have the number again? So, but we need some action. This is unreasonable for myself to be without essential water or sewage, and I'm a disabled and I'm an elder, and I still have to pay this fee, or they'll, kick me out. This is
Yes, ma'am.
this
So
is
when it comes to the ADA covers state and local governments and places of public accommodation and commercial facilities. But when it is dealing with residential areas, it's going to be covered under that different federal law called the Fair Housing Act. And so that's where the regional office of fair housing would come into play as far as under the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
okay. May I have that number, please?
Yes, it's
678
678
732
2493.
2493. I'm going to repeat it. 678 732 2493.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and the other number?
And so the other number was going to be to the FTC. The direct number that I have for them is 202
202
326
326.
2222.
Okay, Latrice, is this the only number that's available for ADA? Because this is accommodation, and I do have a legitimate medical condition that is prescribed under the ADA Act of 90.
So yes, so we're the United States Department of Justice, the Civil Rights Division, Disability Rights Section. This is the only telephone number for us. When it's dealing with residential areas, even though you are a person with a disability, that Fair Housing Act, that's going to be the federal law that will come into play, dealing with persons with disabilities as well as dealing with residential issues. And so they may have different laws and regulations aside from the ADA because that's not going to be something that's directly covered under the ADA. It's not to state that you don't have any specific protection. It's just that it's going to be under a different federal law.
Okay, can you tell me that federal law so I can at least have a conversation?
The Fair Housing Act.
Oh, is that USC 19 CFR? What is that?
So it's going to be under the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so when you give the call to the Atlanta Regional Office of Fair Housing,